Hi, I'm Arman, and let's do another frame tips. So let's talk about the rule of thirds. What is it, and why we need to know about it? Generally, rule of thirds is when we split our framing into 9 parts, like this, and these lines are the lines that are guideline to align our main subject with them. And also these 4 spots, which is the intersections of these lines, are the main spots that, well, they say that eyes are drawn to these points and these lines before anything else in a frame. The photographer knew about the rule of thirds and tried to apply it here. And since this mountain is the main subject, it is aligning with this line in the like very precisely almost. This is working here. But let's talk about the scenarios that different scenarios that we can use the rule of thirds, but they don't apply or they don't work or they haven't been used right. So let's take a look at this one. So as you see, again, if we draw the lines, you're gonna see that the rule of thirds have been applied to this photo very, very carefully. But there are a few things that I need to mention about this one. So the main subject looks like this house here, but not necessarily, because at the same time, these mountains, and there are three of them, and the middle one is exactly aligning with the 1/3 line here. And it seems that the photographer couldn't decide that which of these are the main subject, because what I see in this frame, which is kind of annoying to me, is, and I don't like it to be honest, is that I see multiple subjects, like 3 subjects. One is this mountain here, one is the Milky Way here, which is also aligning with the intersection of the lines, and I think the photographer wanted us to see it, and since it has the contrast between the dark area around it, it also draw our attention to it. And the third subject is this. It looks like this is the main one, but still, my eyes go from here to here and then here, and then I'm confused that, well, like, what was the story here? What I suggest in these scenarios, like when you want to show a few items, is this photo could be actually 2 different photos. One could be this house with this Milky Way, and the other one these mountains with this Milky Way, and it could be awesome. Like both photos could be exciting and very very beautiful. The other thing that you need to know about the rule of third is most of the times this line is used to tell you that which part of my photo is more important. So in this scenario, the sky area is the 2/3, like it is inside the 2/3 area section, and it is the main area of the focus. So we don't care about this part that much. Let's take a look at another one, and in this one is very interesting actually. This one, if we draw the lines here, we will see that in this photo, the line is not exactly aligned with the vertical 1/3 line, but still, this photo looks right. Well, when we look at this area here, it doesn't bother me that it is not exactly aligning with the vertical line, the 1/3 line. And the reason for that, I think, is if we if we draw like this shape, the whole shape of the church, if we draw a line around it and we look at the whole church at the same time, we would notice that for this subject, the main like the center point for the whole object, and let me include this part. So the whole when we look at the whole subject, the center of this subject is actually around here, and if you see, like, it's kind of the weight of the whole subject is around this point right here. And if we draw the line again, we'll see that this is actually matching what we wanted. The whole area here, the center weight of the whole area is matching actually with the intersections of the third lines. So what I think is the reason that this works and it looks right is it is still on the one third line if we look at the whole subject altogether. Now imagine that like, let's say that the photographer matched and aligned this main line here with exactly with the one third line. What I think is it would feel kind of weird. The reason is this area here, like the whole church, is gonna be too close to the sides of the frame, and it would feel like kind of not good. But in this way, I think the church is like it pops, like it draw our attention very good, and I think it's working right here. At the same time, just about the whole framing, what I need to mention, and it's interesting, is like all the area back here with this powerful shape here. I think what it does is it tells us this church affects the city, like in a spiritual way. Like what the photographer is trying to say is kind of like this, because all these like rays of lights that is shining upon the city is like kind of telling that this church is like the reason for that. This is kind of the point of the photographer, I believe. Tell me what you think in the comments, or share any photo with me to comment on.